Hey class, today what we're going to look at is we're going to look at adding and subtracting polynomials. So this is going to fall under, you have to really use the like term rule. So remember, if you have like terms, there are two things that has to happen. You have to have same variable and number two, you have to have the same exponent. If they're not the same, then we don't get to add them or subtract them. We do not get to combine them. So what I usually like to do is take these, if they're added horizontally, I usually like to list them vertically and then match up the like terms so that they have the same variable and the same exponent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything in my parentheses here and just relist it out. So I got 4x cubed minus 6x squared. I'm going to leave a gap because there's no linear term, so I'm going to leave a gap and then do a plus 3, just in case my second one has something to fill in here. Then I'm going to match up my second one with what goes in here. So I've got 2x squared, so I'm going to line that up vertically here. Got my plus, and then my minus 2 is over here. So what you could do if you wanted to was plus 0x, if you wanted to 0x cubed over here, 0x here, but it doesn't really matter because 0 times x is just 0. And if you add 0 to all these, it stays the same. Alright, so my 4x cubed, it doesn't add with anything else, so it just stays as 4x cubed. Alright, now I've got negative 6x squared plus 2x, so that is a negative 6 plus 2, so that is a minus 4x squared. The variable and the exponent stay the same because they're like terms, so all you're doing is adding or subtracting the coefficient. We don't have anything there, and then I have 3 minus 2, which is plus 1. So that would be my answer for adding those two polynomials. Alright, for this one, number 2, so we've got 5x squared minus 12 plus 3x squared plus 7. Those have actually already been lined up for us, so we don't really even have to worry about it. So I add these, I got my 8x squared. And I add these, I get my minus 5, and that is my answer for that. So you're just adding those coefficients, the variables stay the same. Works the same way for subtracting, but one main difference is to be very careful of this minus sign. So you're subtracting everything inside the parentheses. This is where a lot of kids make a lot of mistakes here. So I'm going to rewrite out my top, so 8x. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it in standard form. So remember, standard form is writing everything in biggest to smallest. So my biggest degree is x to the third. So I'm going to write x to the third first. My next one is minus 4x squared. Then I'm going to have a plus 8x. And then if you want to, you could do plus 0 if you wanted to. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to minus, and then I'm going to put parentheses to make sure that I distribute that negative throughout the whole parentheses. So I'm going to line up my things. I got 4x cubed there. Line up my 8. So keeping all the signs the same. 4x squared. Then I got my minus 7x. Close my parentheses. Put my line under there. Alright, so what I like to do is distribute this negative throughout here. So I'm going to make this a plus. So I like to make it addition. But that means that that's going to be a minus sign. This is going to be a minus, and then that's going to be a plus. So if you subtract, you change all the signs for everything inside the parentheses. So now I've got 1. It's implied that that's a 1 out there. So 1 minus 4, negative 3x cubed. Negative 4 minus 8, that's negative 12x squared. And then I'm adding those, so plus 15x. So that's how we would subtract that. Same thing here, I'm going to line them up vertically. A plus b, a minus, in parentheses my a minus b. So make that addition, that becomes subtraction, that becomes addition. These cancel out, so I'm left with b plus b, which is 2b, which is my answer. And that is adding and subtracting polynomials.